Diplomatic analysts warn that the recognition could trigger a domino effect. Other countries, particularly in Latin America and parts of Asia, may follow suit, further isolating Israel diplomatically. But the backlash could be equally powerful. Israeli annexation of West Bank territories would not only end prospects for a two-state solution, but also place Israel in direct violation of multiple UN Security Council resolutions. A former UN envoy described the situation as a high-stakes gamble, noting that both sides are hardening their positions instead of moving toward dialogue. The symbolic presence of the UN in this story cannot be overlooked. Scenes of the UN headquarters in New York serve as a backdrop for what could be the most significant shift in Palestinian diplomacy since the Oslo Accords. For the Palestinian Authority, the recognition bolsters its claim to legitimate statehood within the UN system. For Israel, however, it represents an erosion of its international standing and a challenge to its narrative of security and legitimacy. Monday's announcement will likely not end the debate, but intensify it. Israel's threats of annexation will test the resolve of France and its allies. The Palestinians, meanwhile, may see recognition as symbolic rather than practical, unless it is followed by material support and binding commitments. Diplomatic experts suggest that the next steps will determine whether this recognition marks a true shift toward peace or becomes another moment of international theatre. One senior analyst summarized the dilemma. Recognition alone cannot create a Palestinian state, but annexation can certainly destroy the possibility of one. As the world waits for Monday's announcement in New York, the stage is set for a dramatic clash between symbolism and power politics. 10 countries are prepared to recognize a Palestinian state, and in doing so, they are challenging decades of geopolitical inertia. Israel, however, is prepared to respond forcefully, making clear that its actions on the ground will outweigh words on paper. Israel Katz said, "They will recognize a Palestinian state on paper, but we will build the Jewish-Israeli state here on the ground." That line may prove to be the defining tension of the coming days: recognition versus annexation, diplomacy versus force, the future of Palestine versus the reality of Israel's territorial grip.